Delighted, an absolute honour and a privilege to join so many esteemed and distinguished colleagues in that rank.
Now we have a number of QCs. There's been four competitions where QCs have been appointed. As the Chief Justice was saying, there's some conversation to be had about where the profession goes now in terms of how many QCs there can be in the future, because you've already reached the threshold of 10%. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that, as the Chief Justice rightly pointed out, it's a debate that needs to be had with the Bar Council, with practitioners, with existing Queen's Counsel, with lawyers that perhaps are not strictly within the numbers field, so those in-house counsel, those perhaps working within not strictly legal roles, perhaps draftsmen, things of that nature. So we need to consider how we go forward in terms of those numbers, whether we count them, whether we don't, whether we limit the numbers of silk going forward. But I think it's a big debate for another day.
And the rank of QC comes with, as many lawyers have pointed out, a duty to the profession to have the highest standards. Is that a big weight on your shoulders, do you feel?
Well, I think that those of us practicing barristers will have that weight on your shoulders anyway. I think that you are taught from the outset that you are an officer of the court first and foremost, and therefore your duties lie to the court. And that is ingrained in you pretty early on in your career. So I suppose it perhaps amplifies it somewhat in a different area, your requirement to lead perhaps other barristers, junior barristers, and foster them moving forward. But I think that's already ingrained in you as a barrister to start with.
I'm delighted to have been appointed a QC. It's been a long, hard, but rewarding road over all these years, and I'm extremely happy as you can see.
Now you are what is known as an exceptional case, because QCs are commonly appointed from a litigation background, and you don't have that.
That's absolutely right. The QC guidelines provide that ordinarily a QC shall be appointed from the ranks of litigators. I'm a non-litigator, so therefore I am from a non-litigation background, but the guidelines also provide that in exceptional cases QCs shall be appointed from individuals from a non-litigation background. And obviously when I applied for the QC, I applied on the exceptional criteria, on an exceptional criteria basis. And my background demonstrates, I think, as you heard in court, demonstrates satisfaction of that criteria. I'm very happy to talk you through that.
Well, indeed, you are specialized in a very particular field, described as protected cell companies, and from the testimonies in that courtroom, no one seems to know what that is.
Yes. Well, yes, I mean that's part of my practice. I'm a specialist lawyer in a number of specialist areas, including tax, insurance, financial services. Within my practice area, I published a book over 10 years ago entitled Protected Cell Companies. The book has been cited with approval by the Federal Court of Montana. It's the leading case worldwide on the subject matter. The book that I published is the only book ever published in this area. That's how specialist it is. And I've practiced in the area of PCC entities for a number of years, but it's not exclusively my practice area. I practiced in a number of areas, including financial services and tax.